And another great day in paradise. I'm so glad you're tuning in because I have a really great story to tell you today. The title of the talk is Will You Hold My Hand? Now, I don't necessarily need you to hold my hand, but I wanted you to think about you holding someone else's hand. And that's why I wrote it the way I did. Because if you go, oh, would I hold your hand? Well, sure. Well, if you had someone else other than myself that said, hey, can you hold my hand? Can you step me through some things? Can you be present? Can you hold the space for me? Would you do that for someone else? Would you do it for a stranger? Would you do it for a friend, acquaintance, loved one, family? I don't need you to say yes or no right now. But what I want you to do is think about it. I'm not talking about fixing it for anybody or helping calm down a traumatized person. I'm just talking about if someone reached out and said, would you just listen to me? Will you just let me talk and let me verbally work out what's going on in my head and to understand myself? Could you do that? I think that would be very easy for you. But we're so busy going, oh, what's the matter? What's the problem? Oh, I had a personal experience like that. Let me help you. Let me fix you. And that's not what the world needs right now. I had a great experience today talking with another individual, and I held their hand while they just shared and shared and shared. And I thought, wow, I can be present. I can listen. I can hear their discomfort. I can hear their tears. I can be there for them. Not as a counselor, not as a friend, but as someone that said, can you please hold my hand? Now, I was not in the same state. They're across the country. But they chose to have me hold their hand. So with the era of Zoom and FaceTime and different ways to communicate, even just straight telephone and listening to someone, I want you to look at that and say to yourself, could I do that for someone? Could I just listen to them and let them spew and let things out? I'm not saying you have to be a counselor or a therapist or a coach or anything. Just be there and see what happens. Because I got done listening to this individual and I felt so good. I felt like I had things in my life I could share, but not on a level to fix anything, but just say, yeah, I understand. I've been there. And that's about all I said. I said a few other things, but basically being connected to another individual that just needed a listening ear, I was filled up. I was like, wow, I don't have to be the leader, the teacher, the in charge, the coach, the whoever. I can just be there. So that's what I have for you today. I want you to think about that. Maybe even if going to a strip mall or a busy place and someone's just sitting there and you might sit down and say, hi, do you mind if I sit here? Do you mind if I listen to what you have to say? I'm not saying go to complete strangers if you don't feel comfortable doing that, but just see what happens. See what your world does when you're just holding someone else's hand. You don't physically need to hold it, but the outcome can be so fulfilling. So leave me a message. Let me know when that's happened for you, because I think that is a catalyst for change for you and for them. Because if we always do the same thing, or like, oh, what's the matter? Oh, let me fix it. Or here, let me give you contacts. I'll transfer this from my phone to you. I'll share who I know. No, just hold their hand. Just be there for them. And I think it will be an interesting experience. So drop me a line, # psychic senses, # replay. I'd love to hear from you. And look forward to my classes in January. It's coming up soon. Bye for now.